Jaylon Smith, who, bless his heart, didn't have a great season this year, but believes that he did. And here, once again, is Jaylon Smith living in La La Land.
What led to that slow start for you guys this year?
Heavily part of it is definitely the defense. We weren't clicking. From an execution standpoint, just we weren't playing together as a team. You got a bunch of dominant elite players individually. Got to be able to come together as a team and understand the scheme, understand where we're supposed to be, and then go out and execute. So definitely early in the season, you see that. And then if you look at games later in the season, gelling together, excitement for each other, causing turnovers, celebrating, having fun. That's really what led to the change of what you've seen later in the season from our defense. That can obviously help an elite offense.
Dominant, elite individual players. So what he did there was great. It was the whole individual talent's great, but the collective didn't play well. It's a scheme issue. Typical scheme issue. What elite, dominant defensive players do they have? DeMarcus Lawrence? Anyone else? Elite, dominant, individual defensive players? The problem with Jaylon Smith is he doesn't live in reality. He lives in some crazy made-up world that allowed him to come back from an incredible injury that it's an amazing sports story unto itself that he was able to come back from. And I don't want to take anything away from that. And it was that sort of made-up reality that allowed him to do something that has really never been done before based on the injury that he had and the nerve damage that he suffered from that injury. Players who have had that kind of injury haven't come back to play and play at the level that Jaylon Smith played at a couple of years ago in the NFL. But Jaylon is not a good and consistent NFL player. He is consistently chasing running backs downfield after not being able to tackle them closer in line of scrimmage. He's consistently making tackles further down the field than he should have as a linebacker. He's just probably still dealing with those issues from the injury and the nerve damage, and just had one great season, which was a great season, but doesn't really live in reality. You don't have a bunch of elite, dominant defensive players. You have one. One. If you have any, you have one. And that's the problem with having a guy like Jaylon Smith on your football team, and the reason you have to cut him. You can't live in an alternate reality. You have to be faced with reality. You have to understand your flaws as a football player in order to improve upon those flaws. And if you live in a reality where you're so great, you're the star, you're amazing, and you're having fun, and you're blah, 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 how are you actually going to be able to improve and get better and grow? You can't have a player on your team and in your locker room that doesn't live in reality. Jaylon Smith doesn't live in reality. Shout out to my sponsor, betonline.ag, for producing today's video. Betonline.ag, use promo code CLNS50 to get a welcome bonus on your deposit. Also, consider hitting like or subscribe and ring the bell. That way you're always notified when I post a new video.